Island Life channel. So glad you're here. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because we got a new season of the Island Life that is coming up. I'll wait for a few more of you to jump in here. I know when I go live in vertical mode that it shows up in the shorts feed, and then I get to connect it to people who aren't already subscribed, which is a good thing. I have two channels. One is on self-improvement, personal growth, productivity. And the other day I went live for about 30 minutes and I hadn't realized I had checked out my Island Life channel. And so that's where I went live to, not meaning to, but that's okay. I gained a few subscribers and it's good because this season, the Island Life channel is going to be dedicated to at least weekly episodes of the Island Life. And the Island Life is going to center around my island in the Thousand Islands. Let me know if you're familiar with the Thousand Islands, New York. Jump on here if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Island Life. This season we're going to have a new series about Elm Tree Island. And that's my island that's been handed down through the family, through my grandmother for the past, well, it's been in the family over 80 years. And we shot a movie on the island, and it's available on YouTube if you want to check out the island. It's called Devil's Island 2021. But let me know, I want some ideas for episodes this year for the Island Life. It's going to be on my Island Life channel, but it's going to be Elm Tree Island, Season 1. But let me know what kind of things you'd like to see on the Island Life this year. We're going to try to build up the Island Life channel and get it rolling. So I want to start early because I don't head up to the island until mid-May. So I won't be arriving on the island till about May 15th. A lot of my friends, even some of my family, they ask, oh, are you going to live on the island all year round? I can't. The island is totally seasonal. And so you can't live on my island all year round. So I have to close it up. I close it up around mid-October. And then I open it up, as I said, May 15th. Thanks for jumping on here for the Island Life, everybody. I want to know your ideas for episodes this coming season on the Island Life, where I'm going to be filming episodes on my island, Elm Tree Island in the Thousand Islands. First, let me know in the comments, do you know about the Thousand Islands, New York? That's where the name of the dressing came from, a Thousand Island dressing. So I have an island that was handed down from my grandmother over 80 years ago to my mom and dad, and then now it's in my hands. And so it's a small little private island in Chippewa Bay, New York. And if you know the Thousand Islands, then you probably know Alex Bay, New York. And the Thousand Islands is a region in New York State that runs, well, Canada too. There's the Canadian side of the river, and then there's the New York side of the river. And so Lake Ontario dumps into the St. Lawrence River, and there's about a 20-mile stretch of 1,864 islands. And so this year, going to film a new series on the island. So we got to build up the channel, everybody. So subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to do a build up as we get ready. We're less than 60 days away from heading to the island. I'm going to open up the island on May 15th and start filming from day one. Let me know what you'd like to see in, around, and about the island. Elm Tree Island, you can check it out. Well, on the rest of this channel, there's a lot of videos, but also you can look it up on Google Earth, Elm Tree Island, Chippewa Bay, New York. And so we filmed a movie there. It's called Devil's Island 2021. It's available on YouTube. It's a horror picture, but we filmed it in 2021, obviously. And you can check out the island in the area. I'm in the movie, but I'm going to be doing a reality series this year on the island starting in May. I want some ideas for the island, what kind of things. The last time I did some filming on the island, I talked about our septic system I showed some film of, the floods that we had, which wiped out our septic system. And so we had to put a whole new septic system in. And it was quite expensive because, there's an organization called Save the River. And they inspect all the island septic tanks to make sure that nothing is getting dumped into the river. And so environmentally, they're very, very cognizant, and they're aggressive on making sure that all the islands are in compliance. And I like that because it keeps the water nice and clean and fresh, clear, makes it nice to snorkel around the island. It's all fresh water, no salt water. So right now, everybody, I'm in Florida. I'm here in Melbourne, Florida, on the Space Coast. And that's where I winter after I close up the island, Elm Tree Island. But this year, going to be filming a new series on the island. So I want some ideas. Put in the comments what you'd like to see on Devil's Island, on Elm Tree Island. That's the name of my island. And, it's fun. It's fun, but it's work intensive. In other words, I'm going to be filming how I get groceries. I've got to get in the boat, go to the mainland, which takes 5 or 6 minutes. Then I got to get in my car, drive about 15 minutes to the supermarket, grocery store, and then trek all the way back, and then put all the groceries in the boat, take them back over to the island. And so just going to the grocery store can be a labor of love, of course. But hey, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, let me know if you have any ideas about episodes that you'd like to see on Elm Tree Island this summer. So we're less than 60 days away from opening up the island. And I haven't done much posting on Island Life channel, but I'm going to resurrect it. We're going to pump some life back into it. Regular postings as we get closer to heading to the island. Maybe I'll start even my journey up to the island. I drive from Florida up to the island because I still have one cat that's alive, 19 years old. And so I have to drive. So it's a 20-hour drive. And then I'll film me arriving at the island and opening up. I have a plumber that comes ahead of me, and he makes sure that the water systems are working. He throws the water pump in and makes sure all the toilets are flushing and all the sinks are working before I arrive. So when I arrive, all my boats are ready at the public dock at the yacht club, and that's where I pick up my boat. So when I drive in, I jump out of my car, load up the boat, and I head over to the island. So this year I'm going to film all that. Episode 1, maybe episode 1 will be traveling to the island. And then, I don't know, what do you think? Weekly episodes? I'm going to take your suggestions. What do you think? Maybe a weekly episodes of what's happened during that week on the island. And then maybe on the way to that episode, I'll do a couple lives. And I was also thinking about live streaming from the island. Just a view, maybe, of the channel, or maybe my dock, just out over the water, maybe 10, 12 hours a day. Have a live stream shot of the island. And, people can check in as to what's happening on the island. What do you think about that idea? A live stream, 10, 12 hours a day, and then once a week, I'll do an edited version of activities that happened on and around the island, and the different characters that are around the island, people that I visit on other islands in my neighborhood. Especially Luann at the local yacht club store where I get my boat gas and some groceries, and fresh food that I get there from the Amish. The Amish bring their vegetables to sell there. That'll be a great episode to film the Amish bringing their fruits and vegetables for sale. And that would be an interesting episode, I think. But interested in your ideas this year on the island life and what we can film. I definitely can go to Boldt Castle. Boldt Castle is kind of a famous landmark in the Thousand Islands in the St. Lawrence River. That's where George Boldt, he built a castle for his wife in 1905, and then she passed away. He stopped construction, But while he was there, he came up with the recipe for Thousand Island dressing. And so every time you think of Thousand Island, so I should do an episode on Thousand Island dressing and the history. I think that would be a good episode. But hey, I'm still driving to the gym here, but definitely interested in your ideas for episodes. Let me know in the comments. Give me ideas for episodes this year on Elm Tree Island for the channel Island Life. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, let's build up. Let's build the channel up. Let's build it up to about 50,000 people. And you can be founding subscribers. You guys are in the first 500. And that's going to be great. So I'm looking forward this year to filming on Elm Tree Island. And it was handed down from my grandmother to my mother. Now my mom is still alive, 90. She comes up to the island from her home in Rochester. And this year she said she plans on spending a lot of time at the island. So we'll film me my 90-year-old mom who still gets in the water and swims and walks on the treadmill on the island. So I want to, hey everybody, thanks for checking in. Julie Ellis, you want to see the cat? Oh yeah, I'll show you the cat. I'll show you the cat. Hey, I'm single now. Yep. Wife filed for divorce last May. Yep, things change in a hurry. So this will be my first year single on the island. Well, actually second year. But so that'll be interesting. Maybe I'll go on a couple dates while I'm on the island and take them home to the island. Or maybe I'll invite them out to my island for dinner. And then I'll film it for an episode. I'll have to get their permission. But that could be some good episodes. All right, everybody. Thanks for your comments. All right. Are you looking for a boyfriend? All right. Well, let's talk about it. Hey, okay. Hey, Army Mom 380. First time here. So what state is your island on? It's in New York State. It's in the Thousand Island region of upstate New York. So Lake Ontario dumps into the St. Lawrence River. And the St. Lawrence River runs all the way past Montreal and into the Atlantic Ocean. But just outside of Lake Ontario starts the Thousand Island region. And there's 1,864 islands in this group. It's kind of a famous area. A lot of people have heard of it, but a lot of people have not. So check it out. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel here. If you're new, subscribe and leave me some comments. Hey, the more you new people can interact with the channel, we're going to start building up the Island Life channel. And this year, going to film a series, a live series on the island, Elm Tree Island. Now, we did shoot a movie on the island, Devil's Island 2021. It's available on YouTube. It's not on my channel, but go check out the movie. It kind of highlights the whole area. It's a beautiful area, but I can tell you right now, it's frozen over. My island is frozen over. And up until a week ago, you could probably drive a truck out to the island. People have been out there ice fishing, but this week up there it's been in the 60s. So gradually it's melting. I'm hoping that all the ice is gone by April 1st or the first week of April. But I won't be arriving until about May 15th. And that's when I'll start filming the series on Elm Tree Island. But I'm gonna keep the channel name Island Life. And we're gonna build up the channel. But thanks for checking it out, everybody. All right, get in touch. I think you're interesting and maybe a visit. First time seeing you. Hey, all right. Thank you. You can be a helpmate for sure if you know the area, definitely. While I'm on the island, I visit all sorts of areas. My stepson and I, he visited the island last year and we went to Canada on a trip so I could film another trip to Canada. And there's a castle called Singer Castle right next to my island, really. It's within about 500 yards. And so I could film Singer Castle, and I can also go to Alex Bay, which is 15 miles away, and film Bolt Castle. And Frederick Remington had a studio on an island right near mine. And if you know Frederick Remington, he was a pretty famous sculptor and painter. But a lot of his sculptures are in the White House. You see them. They're the Bronco Billy sculptures, Frederick Remington. And so I can do a whole video series on his little cabin is still there right near my island. So we can visit there for an episode for sure. But it's an interesting way of living on the island. 1,864 islands. And I am in Chippewa Bay, New York. You can check that out. Chippewa Bay, New York. And so in my little bay, there's probably, I should count them. There's probably 25 or 30 islands in Chippewa Bay. And it's probably one of the widest areas of the river. It looks like a lake. So it's probably about 5 miles wide right there in Chippewa Bay. But it's an interesting area. And so I hadn't done much with the channel last year. Hey, but this year I thought, hey, damn it, I'm going to, I was watching a couple island life channels and some of the people that, they film from the Key West, Keys, and, they're on their boat or their sailboats. And so I'm going to film from the island life. Let's reinvigorate this channel, you and me. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the other videos that I made about the island life. The cottage has been in my family for 80 years. We've added on to it. My wife and I added a long dock on about 10 years ago. And so I keep about 4 or 5 boats, small ones. I got a little utility boat, 2 jet skis, and then a little Sea Ray that I have. But I'm probably going to add one more boat to the fleet. But you can check it out. But hey, I'm glad everybody is checking out the channel. Thanks for waving. I appreciate you. And Thousand Island Dressing, that's where the name came from, right where my island is, Elm Tree Island. Hey, it's a real place, no bullshit, authentic and real. You can go to Google Earth and put in Elm Tree Island. That's my island, handed down from grandma to my mom and now to me. And so it's a great place. It really is paradise on earth. If you haven't visited that area, think about it, check it out. There's so many nice little villages and towns there, and they do a couple major bass tournaments there. Bassmasters films a tournament there, and they come all around my island. It's one of the best bass fisheries in the United States in the last couple of years. And then Major League Fishing, they film their major tournament there, and they come right around my island with the cameras, and I film them, they film me. And I made friends with a couple of the pro bass fishermen that come around my island. And I got one buddy of mine, he actually comes on the island. I feed him lunch and a couple of cocktails now and then when he visits for his tournament. He's usually there 7 to 10 days. But it's a great life on the island. All right, everybody, thanks for checking in. I want to acknowledge you. You're important. Oh, I hope you make it big. Hey, whether I do or not, Julie, I live with passion. I live with a positive mental attitude. And Julie Ellis, 3920, oh man. Army Mom, 380. I love it. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're going to be a part of the island life this summer. I'm going to do a lot of lives, and I'm going to do a series. I'm going to do a series on Elm Tree Island, all about the island life, because it really is kind of a different way of living, at least for 5 months out of the year. And then I got to come back to reality. But I record my podcast on the island, and I do a lot of filming on the island. And I film it's all the comforts of home. Actually, I have full electricity on the island. Believe it or not, the electricity comes underneath the water and hooks onto just a power box, just like you have next to your house. And the power cables are below on the bottom of the river. And then so everybody has electricity up there on the islands. I would say 99.9% of the islands have electricity. And then I have a septic system, so regular toilets, regular electricity, and I get Wi-Fi from the nearby castle. I receive it, and then because I transmit the Wi-Fi for a lot of people in line of sight, I get my Wi-Fi for free. So right now I have live cameras on the island that are telling me what's going on up there. So maybe as we get closer, maybe I'll do some live broadcast with with my live feed coming from the island right now. And then I can show you that it's surrounded by ice, and you know, it's unlivable right now. And so, but it won't be long. We are less than 60 days away from when I'll be there. I will be arriving May 15th for sure at the latest. Last year I got there on the 15th. And this is the kind of shit that happens. Last year I arrived May 15th. It's 80 degrees, flat, calm, beautiful sunny day. Arrive at the island, which is a great, you know, usually I arrive and it's raining for some stupid reason. But last year, sunny, hot, beautiful. Island is open, doors wide open, let the fresh air in, unload everything, unload the cat, right? Get all the furniture out, roll out the carpets. The next day, 45 degrees. And for the next 10 days, 40, 48. I had a fire for 10 days in a row, and it was a tough time, believe me. I had a tough time mentally because my wife had just filed for divorce, unwanted. I was in despair. Just when I could have used some sunshine and being outdoors, I had to stay inside. You know, I'm there with my old memories of our time together there at the island with the fire. Okay, on one hand, it was nice. On the other hand, I was miserable because I was all alone. My island neighbors hadn't arrived yet. My closest neighbor was doing construction, adding on to his island, so he couldn't come. My other island neighbors, they're from Ithaca, and they decided not to come yet. They're only 2 hours away, so they can wait until a warm day to come open up. And then my other island neighbors that are closest, they come from Pennsylvania. They canceled because they saw cold weather in the forecast. So I had nobody nearby, so it was very dark. Hey everybody, thanks for checking into the Island Life. If you're just jumping in from the shorts feed, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be filming this year from my own island, Elm Tree Island in the Thousand Islands, New York. That's actually where the Thousand Island dressing name came from. And I'm going to be filming from Boldt Castle too. One day I will go around to Boldt Castle because George Boldt is the one who came up with Thousand Island dressing, and back in 1905. And the reason he came up with it was because he owned the Waldorf Astoria in New York City. And so he came up with that dressing in the Thousand Islands, and he took it back to his restaurant in the original Waldorf Astoria, and it became very popular. And so then he continued producing Thousand Island dressing. Of course, and to this day, you can still get Thousand Island dressing, but a lot of people don't know it's a real place. And you're going to follow me on this channel, and you're going to know all about that real place. And hey, who knows? Maybe some of you will be in the Thousand Island area this summer, and I'll host you at the island, or stop by. You would be surprised. As I said before, if you're just checking in, we filmed a movie, Devil's Island 2021. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. But a lot of people see that movie, and then they come around the island, you know, to see where it was filmed, and they take pictures, and then I come out and then I meet them. And I've had some people just come on the island and we have a drink or two. And it's kind of neat because these are sometimes people from, you know, many states away, but they're vacationing in the Thousand Islands for the summer or a week or two. And then they saw the movie, and so they want to come check it out. And then I come out and they see me. And so we have a nice conversation, take some pictures, and all sorts of crazy. Hey, there's all sorts of crazy things that we can do this year with the Island Life. You know, maybe I can come up with some merch, some t-shirts, some hats, you know, I don't know. But hey, it's something we can look forward to. We're less than 60 days away from me getting to the island, Elm Tree Island. Check it out on the rest of my channel here. I got all sorts of videos. It's been a couple of years since I filmed on the island, but I filmed our septic system, how we got it, and what do I do about the bugs and the spiders. So I actually have a bug guy that comes out to the island once in the spring, and then once midsummer, and I got to go pick them up in my boat, right? And then I get these guys at the main dock, on the public dock, and they pile in, 3 or 4 of them. I take them out to the island. Then they actually spray all over my cottage and the dock and the island, and it's all organic, so it doesn't hurt, you know, the cat or other animals. It won't hurt dogs. It does hurt the spiders and those kinds of things, because if I don't do it, I'll be overrun in the cottage by mud dauber wasps and man, wait till you see these dock spiders. I mean, they look like tarantulas. I've never been stung or bitten by a dock spider, but it looks like it would be a nasty bite, and they look terrible. But they mostly stay around the docks. I've never had a dock spider in the house, in the cottage, even though the cottage is right next to the water. And that's one of the reasons why I had to get a new septic system, state of the art, because in 2017, we had floods, wiped out my whole septic system. And then in 2019, I got a new septic, another flood, wiped it out. So I had to get a state of the art system, no more leach field on low water. So I have to have after it goes through several stages, I pump it to the other end of the island where there's a 30-foot leach field, 10 feet deep, pea stone. You wouldn't even know it. It's surrounded by stone that I had built around it. So it's finally paid off, but that was quite extensive. So you'll learn how I operate the island, how we get groceries, right? It's quite labor intensive. Get in the boat, mainland, grocery store, back to the boat, back to the island, unload, and then fill the fridge. And so I try to keep that to once a week. But so that I don't go crazy on the island, although I don't. My wife used to go crazy. She got island sickness. She had to get off that island every couple days. Now I could be on the island a week or two without going too crazy. But I do have a group that I play tennis with on the mainland. So I get off the island probably 2 to 3 times a week. I work out on the island. I have my own treadmill and weights. But I did find a gym in Alexandria Bay, New York. 24 hours I have access to this gym, and it's a full gym. So when I'm at the island, starting last year, I started going to this gym 2 to 3 times a week. So on the days that I would get off the island, go to the mainland to play tennis with my group, I would also take that day to go to the gym and go to the grocery store. Now the grocery store that I go to, you can go by boat. There is a dock, and you can take the grocery carts from the grocery store down to the dock. But if I go by boat, it's a good 45 minutes. And if it's rough, it's not an easy ride. So I decided last year, I'm not going to be shopping by boat, even though that's kind of a neat thing. So this year we'll be doing it all by car. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Listen, subscribe to the channel. Let's make this channel grow this year. I'm bringing it back, the island life. I kind of let it go this last year because I was filming on my main channel, which is about self-improvement, personal growth, how we can get better today than we were yesterday. But the island life is really focused on living on the water, you know, being around the boats, you know, and the island life and what that entails, what we have to do. Another thing that I'm going to be doing on the island this year is keeping the damn island manicured, because I was in a state of, I don't want to say depression, but a little bit of despair going through the divorce and separation, not knowing what was going to happen. I didn't keep up on the plants and all the growth so the island, these plants, these crazy weeds will take over the island. And that's what happened last year. So this year I'm going to be on it. And so at least 2 to 3 days a week, I'm going to be cutting things back, manicuring and weed eating and keeping things nice and manicured, looking nice, because who knows, you might be visiting the island. If not in person, you're going to be watching one of the episodes that I filmed. Hey everybody, you're about to come all over your screen. Wow, all right, the one who knocks 999, keeping it raw and dirty. I love it. Just curious, not looking for advice. That's okay, I'm not giving advice on this channel. Yes, there are VRBOs and Airbnbs around the islands, absolutely. You know what? Go to the Thousand Island Chamber of Commerce. Go to Alexandria Bay Chamber of Commerce. And or just go Airbnb Thousand Islands. Airbnb VRBO Thousand Islands. And, you know, the Thousand Islands are about a 20-mile stretch. So I'm by Chippewa Bay and Alexandria Bay, and that's where you're going to find most of your vacation rentals are going to be around Alexandria Bay, maybe Clayton, a couple around where I'm at, Chippewa Bay. I'm in a very quiet area of the river. Our little bay is very quiet. There's a lot of shoals around my island in the whole area. In other words, those are rocks underneath the water. And if you don't know where they are, you can tear your prop up. And so a lot of people who are unfamiliar with the area of the river we're at, they don't want to come down there. We're not going to Chippewa Bay. I want to keep my motor. So there are a lot of unmarked shoals there. Oh my God, it's almost 3 o'clock, everybody. I've got to get in the gym and get it done. Subscribe to the channel, The Island Life. You won't be disappointed. It's going to be great content this year. I'm going to be doing a whole series, not just about myself and my island, but all the characters that live around there and people I visit on other islands, and especially my good friend Luann at the local yacht club store where we get our gas as members of the local yacht club. We joined this yacht club because we need places to park, right, and to park our boats to get to our cars. And so we have a yacht club that kind of takes care of that. They have public property there. All right, everybody. I'm so excited this year about this season of Elm Tree Island on The Island Life. Check out the other videos. Leave some comments what you'd like to see videotaped this year on the island. And it's going to be a great season of Elm Tree Island. I'm looking forward to you folks being a part and coming along. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want, check out my other channel, Cliff Yates. That's all self-improvement, personal growth. But I wanted to keep them separate because people that are into that stuff really aren't into the boating life, right? The island life, or even curious about what goes on a private island. How do you live on a private island? Are you there all year? What happens in the winter? Where the hell is this Thousand Island region in upstate New York? I'm going to tell you, you're going to see it. It's on the channel. Check out the rest of the videos. Listen, damn it. I may look 27, but listen, I'm 68. I got to get in this gym and get after it. I got to get my workout in. I've been very consistent for the last 50 years working out. I'm not going to stop now. I wanted to connect with you, get you on board The Island Life. Less than 60 days, everybody. We're going to be on that island, and I'm going to be starting to film on a consistent basis as we get up to the till we get close to the date where I'll be taking off, driving up to the island 20 hours from Florida. All right, everybody. I'm glad you're here. See you in the next video.